All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the thing in Fusion here. Got all 12 of our airfoils in there. Check your X or your XYZ. You want to make sure the Z is up and then everything's on the XY plane. If not, then what you want to do is find which sketch has the stuff on it. Right click on it. The third or fourth choice, I believe, is to redefine your sketch plane and make sure you select the XY plane. And that'll put it in the right spot. I'm doing that for both the board and the airfoils in case they did it on two different sketches like this one did. But now I got it on the XY plane, so I'm good to go there. And I'm just going to then do a save as, give it a name. I tend to put their name in there, and then I put my name as well, so I know it's an altered file. And now I have an extra copy because it's not their original file. And now I'm going to export it. Choose a DWG as your file type. Remember where you end up exporting this thing. And Fusion will export the DWG file eventually. There we go. It's complete. We can close. And we're going to now bring this into Autodesk, AutoCAD. Go find your file. There it is. Now I tend to do a zoom, press enter, then type all, press enter, and it zooms it right in for me. All right. Get that out of my way. There we go. Now I'm going to do overkill. What overkill is going to do is get rid of all the double lines for me. So just type overkill, select everything, and then you can see anything duplicated or overlapping it got rid of. Now you want to go through and get rid of the artifacts. So I'll do that real quick. And it looks like my artifacts are done. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add a little line here because it seems like we missed it. Help the student out a little bit. All right. There we go. Now you want to grab everything and change it to 0.005 millimeters or 0.002 inches, depending if you're in inches or millimeters. So select it all, and there you go, 0.005 millimeters. This will then cut it on the laser. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my origin right on this corner here. There we go. I need to now set my limits. So my bottom left is at 0, 0 because I just moved my origin there. And my top right is going to be at 10 inches by 10 inches because that's the size of the board. Now, when this thing brought stuff in, it most likely brought it in at the wrong scale. So I'm going to turn off my display beyond limits, and you can see that the grid is too small. So I'm going to select everything and scale it. My base point, set it at your 0, looks 0. Like my artifacts are right at the corner. Done. And then, so now I'm going to this thing does not need to really be perfect. I can line here because it seems like we missed it. You just look through your image, help the student see your grid behind it. That looks pretty good. All right, so now that I have everything scaled to the right size, I can get rid of this outside box. I don't need to cut that. Now you want to grab everything and change it to 0.005 to switch over to my epilogue 0.002 inches, depending if you're in inches or millimeters. So select it all, and there you go. Sometimes you may need to look. This will then cut it which one is actually active when you plug in. A little hard to see what we got going on here, but next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my size at 10 inches by 10 inches. This corner here. There we go. My speed is somewhere about 20%. There we go. My power is all the way up. I need to now set my limits. So my bottom left is at 0, 0 because I just moved my area. I'm going to set it to extents. And my top right is going to be at 10 inches. And then since my number is the board below. Now, when this thing brought stuff in, I'm going to go ahead and set it in at the wrong scale. Paper. If that number was above, so I'm going to turn off my display. Then I'll go ahead and fit the paper to scale it down. It just you can see that the grid is too small. But there we go. You can now see what this looks like. So I'm going to select everything, go ahead and hit plot and scale it. It will send this over to the epilogue printer. Base point, set it at make sure you set your focus to the printer and make sure that. And then, since this thing does not need to really be perfect, and then you should be able to go. Let me know if you have any questions. You just look through your image, see your grid behind it. That looks pretty good. All right, so now that I have everything scaled to the right size, I can get rid of this outside box. I don't need to cut that. I can go to plot. I'm going to switch over to my epilogue engraver. This one, sometimes you may need to look beforehand to see which one is actually active when you plug in. A little hard to see what we got going on here, but I got my size at 10 inches by 10 inches. There we go. My speed is somewhere about 20%. My power is all the way up. Let's go ahead and save that. My plot area, I'm going to set it to extents. And then since my number is below 1, I'm going to go ahead and just turn off the fit to paper. If that number was above 1, then I'll go ahead and fit to paper to scale it down. It'd just be very slightly off. But there we go. You can now see what this looks like. I can then go ahead and hit plot. It will send this over to the epilogue printer. Make sure you set your focus to the printer and make sure that your board's in the right spot, and then you should be able to go. Let me know if you have any questions.